Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NeverOpenPod, the podcast open to everyone, especially Hanare, who's in a magazine in our hearts. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the NeverOpenPod, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Say hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy, and hello, Luke, and hello to the listeners of the Never Open Podcast. I'm happy to be here today to talk about one show and one show only, because it's the only show that exists right now in New Japan. There aren't other shows going on, so it's just this one, and that's New Beginning in Osaka.
That's it. That's the only show we're going to talk about, actually. We know a Fantastica Mania has aired, and we're not doing it. I watched the first couple matches, and then, I've had no power or I've just been fucking busy. So, yeah, we've been dying to talk about this one episode, everyone.
Yeah.
And we've had technical difficulties and all this kind of stuff. In fact, Australian weather has decided to be a son of a bitch like Kanemaru. And I feel like House of Torture has been on the fucking electronics, internet systems and everything. Oh,
anyway. Yeah. They were fucking around in Victoria. I think Naito has a weather machine. That's like a, like a Bond villain thing, isn't it? Like a weather machine.
I could see him on a chair stroking a white cat. I could definitely see Naito doing that.
That would be pretty great. I'd watch
that.
Him talk about that. But yeah, he's definitely behind it.
I'd love to see James Bond get Destinoed through like a glass coffee table or some shit. That'd be fucking gnarly.
Everything is evil off a boat, like off a giant yacht, That'd be great.
And you see him do it earlier on against someone, so you know how dangerous it is when you get someone. All right, anyway, let's do some professionalism, Mr. Guy. There are ways people can contact us and interact with us if they wish to. We're on the Tweety. Still, yep. I am at Gromper2EB. Mr. Guy's at Truth for Tweets. Collectively, we are at NeverOpenPod. If you want to send us a written or voice email, you can do that. NeverOpenPod@gmail.com. Also, we're on the YouTube, so you can kind of see me and my face as I try to concentrate and get this right. Look us up. Never Open Podcast. There you go. And if you got any of that Sasha Banks money, yeah, kick it our way. We have a Teespring store where you can get merch that'll make you look never as
Was that a little dokey? Yeah, right in the middle of that.
Yes. So the only thing I'll say about the one Fantastica Mania things I saw a pop-up double drop kick by Doki, and then he landed and went, yeah. That's it.
Doki's probably beating everybody up on Fantastica Mania. I doubt he's losing any matches at all. Probably not.
Just Five Guys, man. Now,
Jesus Christ, he's losing every match. He is. Jesus. Anyway, well, Luke, there is one piece of news unrelated to luchadors, and that is, one luchador is involved, and that is the anniversary show is returning to its old form. It used to be that every year in March, early March, they would have a show, and it'd be the, whatever year anniversary. The heavyweight champion would face the junior heavyweight champion, and it's been a long time since that's happened. In fact, Luke, we never shut up about it. The last time this was supposed to happen was before COVID, and it was supposed to be Hiromu versus Naito. We're getting one of those guys this time.
That's right, with Hiromu as the junior champ. Fuck! No.
One day.
Yeah.
But good for fucking Desperado. Desperado will look like $1 million versus the heavyweight champion, and he'll almost beat Naito, and it'll be tremendous. It's always great.
Absolutely. I am just looking forward to the fuck your leg. Because of his damaged knees. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait. That's going to be good.
Protect your neck, Desperado.
That's right. You best protect your neck. Yep. All right. So, I guess, is that all the fucking news and shit?
That is all the preamble. It's time to talk about the New Beginning in Osaka. Luke, was there a Osaka in Osaka? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so. Man, you just stole my shit. Yeah. Now I know how it feels. Oh, copy from the best. That's what I say. All right. So yes, we are at the. We are. Let's just toot our own horns. All right. We are at the Osaka Prefectural Gymnasium, and we got some Google reviews, and I'm going to read one right now. Mr. Guy collates these for us, and here we are. There was a competition, and it's amazing. There was a competition and a thank you for your help. The venue itself was large, which was good. However, the toilet is very smelly. 2 stars. It's always with the toilets.
How is that the venue's fault? Why does the venue lose stars because somebody just like blew up the fucking toilet before this dude walks in? You know? How's that?
It's a sold out arena. 500 people have already taken a dump in there. What do you expect the smell to be like? What are you doing?
It's very
Oh
smelly.
my god, I'm sorry, everyone.
That's tremendous. So I always love those two. The ones where it's like everything's going fine and all of a sudden it's toilets. And it's toilets. So
then it's like Eddie Murphy opening the door in like that daycare trailer, you know, where he opens it up and there's even shit on the ceiling.
I mean, it's pretty bad. So and it's very smelly, I hear. So Luke, I also have a Google review from Google, in fact, of the Osaka Prefectural Gymnasium, and it goes a little something like this. I love sumo wrestling and have been there countless times, but I have 2 complaints. First of all, I have to go up the stairs. There is an elevator, but it's slow and narrow. I'd rather take the stairs than wait, but I get tired of looking at all those steep stairs. The sumo wrestlers come up gasping for breath, so I wish they would at least add an escalator. The other thing is the restrooms. Most of them are Japanese style, and there is always a line for the women's ones, which makes me feel bad. 2 stars.
There's also too many steps to the shitter.
So they bring up a problem. I hate the stairs. Well, they have an elevator, but it's narrow. What? It's too small? So you'd rather...
That's slow. I don't want to wait.
But I wonder if it smells in the elevator, too. It might be very smelly in there. It might be next to the bathroom.
I bet you in the time it takes for this person to observe the steps and get tired from looking at how many steps there are, the elevator doors just gone all the way. The elevator, as he's watching the stairs, is going up, opening. And those people who was just like, nah, it's all right, I'll get the stairs, have just arrived and been on their seats. And he's just still looking at the stairs going, fuck. Oh. And then the toilet stank on top of that.
Yes. Oh, well, I had to go up and down the stairs just to get to it. You know what I mean? By the time he gets there, it smells terrible. So,
oh my fucking Christ,
Luke. Well, the show, we both had a slightly different viewing experience for this show. I watched it with Japanese commentary, and you watched it with Walker Texas Stewart and the TMDK Heavies on commentary with Chris Charlton, right?
That's right. So, all right. So, what happens with the commentary is, I'll get it out of the way now. Is the first match happens, and it's just Walker and Chris. All right, fine, normal. Then halfway through the second match, Fisherman versus Great O'Khan and Callan on the Cob, they just arrive, and the commentators were like, "Oh, you guys know you were supposed to be here on the first from the start, right? Oh yeah, we were busy at the bar or all this kind of. No, they were apparently late signing fan stuff or something. Apparently, something like that. I don't know what story's true, but they are Aussie." So I'm going to assume they were signing autographs while at the bar, getting sloshed. There we go. I'm going to go with that. And if anyone remembers the last time Mr. Shane Haste was on the commentary, I found him just hilarious. In Aussie parlance, he was a larrikin, if you will. He was just really fun. And he and Mikey, of course, they bounce off each other really nice. A little distracting at times, but nothing too bad. They make me chuckle. I didn't write anything down. but it was just a good time. And then they left after ELP Hikuleo or somewhere around there because, they were going to come out and support Zack Sabre Jr. for his match.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you liked it then?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What did you think of the commentary?
I mean, Milano was fucking fired up.
Fucking lose his mind or what?
Yeah, they started laughing when somebody got hit really, really hard. It was awesome. Yeah. And I heard some move names. I heard him talking about a few things. I like it too when there's somebody on commentary that's like real, like Desperado was on commentary for a while and he's very low key. Very low key. So you got like you got whoa, and you got him going, yes, and it's something else.
That's because he's too cool for school. He's doing his commentary in character, man. Come on.
He's not fucking around,
No way. That's what I like. I've told this story before, but the first Forbidden Door, the press scrum, I watch them sometimes because you never know what you're gonna get. You get some interesting tidbits, and then you get the amazing piece of art train wreck that is the CM Punk cupcake press thing, right? So I'm watching it, and Jericho very backstagey, telling me how they put things together and all that. A couple other wrestlers, TK, all that. Okada comes out completely in character the whole time. All the New Japan dudes who did theirs completely kayfabe, and I was like, it's kind of how I like it. So yeah.
It's better that way. Wrestling's better that way. Why don't the wrestlers know that?
You don't want to know too much about wrestlers' lives, everyone, because one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, two of them, Ric Flair and Jericho, and yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
Let's bring ourselves back up because this is fucking fun, and I'm going to put props over on someone who I'm slowly and steadily have been doing maybe over the last couple episodes, much to my chagrin.
Bolton Oleg?
Oh yeah, man. Oh. You can wrench my guts anytime. Anyway, so we got Toriano and Yo versus Bolton Oleg and Ryusuke Taguchi. I like that. Yano's like, nah, man, I'm not getting gut wrenched. So he uses the ref to pull himself out of Oleg's reach. Fuck that. Also, my note here is, yay, Yo's on first. Yay. Anyway, yes. Taguchi he hits Yo in the corner with his ass. Hits a bulldog. There's a bum oye and a roll up for two. Taguchi drops his pantaloons and tries to pin Yo like that. Yeah, Yano breaks it up. There's like stereo. Oh my god! All right, the fucking finish of this match is amazing chef's kiss banger. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Kevin, but mostly Eddie for saying that. I fucking love it. It's Yo gets a win here, but oh my god! So everyone does the stereo spots in their matches, submissions and stuff. They don't usually do the same move unless it's a Brad or something. Anyway. Oleg's got Yano finally. Gut wrench. So Taguchi picks up fucking Yo and goes, oh, yeah, all right, let's go. And they start both doing gut wrenches. Fucking Taguchi drops him because he can't gut wrench for as long or as good as Oleg. And Yo rolls him up while Oleg's too busy gut wrenching Yano. The match is over. Oh, that's the kind of goofy shit I like. And this kind of Yo that we've started to get, I like it. I'm liking it. And
it's goofy shit, but it's goofy shit that makes sense, Luke.
Yeah.
It's like you set up your own rules and you follow your own rules. And just the other day, Yo had been trying to do the gut wrenches on Kanemaru. Remember that? And he just dropped him. So there's even more story to the stupid gut wrench thing. It's awesome.
Oh,
I love that. That's fun. Well, I'm glad that you love Yo now, and he's your favorite wrestler. He's going to make the Super Juniors this year. So next, Luke, we have. Oh man, yeah, I don't know, brother. Like he didn't even get more points this year than he did last year. So
that's what. Like we want him to win, but secretly we just want him to get 8 points.
Yeah, just
enough. Happy.
That's fine. So yeah, if Doki starts winning, he's not Doki anymore. So he's got to lose all the time. But anyway, next, Luke, we have as you called him, Callum on the Cob, tremendous versus the Fishermen. They're back. So Newman, he starts with Goto, and the Fishermen can't help it, though. They have to double team somebody. So here they go. They double team. They do war drums on Great Khan when he gets in the ring to try to help, and I'm fucking disgusted. Also, something else to mention. These two guys are the only two United Empire members that are around that aren't in the big match at the end. Will they appear? I'm sure, but we'll see how. So that's something I was thinking about during this match. So Great Khan and Yoshihashi like getting a clutch, right? And then Great Khan wins that exchange, but he runs into the stupid headhunter, and it's like, he's not that dumb. That doesn't make sense. So Newman flips handspring style out of the corner, which is really fucking cool. And the crowd goes, woo! Because the crowd, by the way, was out of their mind this whole night. And there was at least 1 to 4 drunk people. And if you were watching it and you had headphones on, he'd be way over here. And he was like just screaming the whole night.
But this motherfucker throughout the night, like, all right, sure, it wasn't loud like a Western crowd, but for a Japanese crowd, for him to able to manage to spread it as far as he did, a fight forever chant, a this is awesome chant, etc., etc. Oh my god. Bring out the drunk Japanese people in Osaka any day. Like, fucking hell.
That guy was great. During the first match, he was like, Oleg! Just screaming Oleg as loud as he could. Like half the match. It's so funny. So, anyway. All right. So, Fishermen do a double team. Like, they do double teams better than United Empire here, which is very upsetting. But Newman gets some sweet reversals on Goto. Shoto on Newman. He looks pretty good in this match, though. And Yoshihashi trash talks United Emperor after the match to their faces.
That's fucking weird.
I would laugh in his face.
Great Khan gets like an extended entrance, badass entrance here too, which is pretty gnarly. Yoshihashi dresses like I don't know, like a Ninja Turtle. But I wasn't going to write that he was dressed like Donatello, so I wrote he was dressed like Donatello. Give me that. He also had like white leopard print on him somewhere.
What is that about?
What the fuck is that? White leopard print. Yoshi, dude, come on, man.
So somewhere backstage,
is he taking fashion tips from fucking Yo or something? Like,
I think that somewhere backstage there is a leopard print fur coat just laying there that Yoshihashi brought for Goto to wear, but Goto was like, no.
No, I won't do this.
I won't do it. It's right. That's tremendous, man.
Oh my god. All right. So next we have Tiger Mask, Tomoaki Honma, El Desperado, and Shooter Umino. There we go. Despi's got some fucking cool friends today. No fucking dregs this time. Versus no fucking Makabe up in there. No Yo. I'm warming to him, but I'm still not going to be like, yeah, it's the Yo shot. I'm not there yet, but he's entertaining me. That's enough. Yeah. Versus the House of Torture. All of them. We got that fucking son of a bitch. Yoshinobu Kanemaru. We've got Ren Narita with his push-up bra. Man, I wonder if that's going to fucking help win the match against. Who's on the other team? Honma's there. No. Tiger's lower in the pecking order. All right. We got Evil as well. Dick Togo. Show. And fucking guy who never takes a fucking holiday, a break, a rest, or gets injured. Don't want you to get injured, though. It's Ichiro Takahashi as well. But how do you get injured when you coast all this time, though?
I know. True. Did you notice that Chumpy Jr. is reffing this match? He's already jumped young Sakamoto in line. Like, already. This guy, I don't trust him, Luke.
Did you also notice that the best ref in the world wrestled probably like the fucking Mona Lisa of wrestling matches on this card?
He reffed it. Yeah, he did ref it. He did not wrestle in it. He wanted to.
He reffed it.
They wouldn't let him give him a spot.
No. He asked if he could get a couple spots in, and they were like, no.
Can't wait to talk about Chumpy in that match. He was tremendous.
Anyway, this match is fun, but I knew as soon as I saw As soon as I heard go Tiger, I was like, yep, you're
Yeah.
losing. And I also knew he'd be eating a push-up bra and getting pinned, and he does. Shock arrow. Show gets the pin. Oh man, this is fun stuff. You know, it's the commentators shit on it because it's like, oh, you really need to do that with Tiger Mask, dude. They don't do it because they need to. They do it because they're fucking pricks.
Yeah, because they want to, and it's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny to them.
It amuses them to win this way. It's amusing. It tickles them. That's why they all live together under one house.
That's right.
What damn?
Dumbasses.
Fucking hell.
Don't you understand how the house of torture works? Come on.
Come on, man. Shooter, he runs right after Evil because Evil's just like, yep, I'm out of here. Despy he spears Show and gets his mask back. Cuts a sick promo, probably about how much Despy's a little bitch or something. It's probably awesome. I don't write down Chris's translations sometimes and I forget them, so just know Desperado's cool and he said something cool. The end.
Well, he accepted the title match, so they are going to have a title match now, but he said a couple things about strong style. So I think what he was trying to say is that I better see the real Show. Because you can't, like basically like you're such a bitch. You can't beat me that way. You got to cheat. Why don't you fucking man up and actually wrestle? I think that's kind of what it was about.
He wants the old Show, in other words. So, all right, I'm into it. We'll get us. Show will give us like some shades of old Show, and then suddenly rake in the eye, fucking low blow or something. Right. I'm cool. Show us some of those gnarly Germans and power moves, then be it. Yeah, that's my jam. So, look, the only thing I don't like is Show takes the title, and I'm like, all right, House of Torture, we know you do that all the time. We've done that stick. But
it's getting old.
And Evil has the spray painted on fucking Never title. You son of a bitch. But hey, if Evil's going to take the title and do the House of Torture stuff, all right, do something different. Yeah. Like, take it up another notch and double down on me and go, oh, you don't like that we're doing the House of Torture stick with a group that you like, you fucking weirdo. Fine, we're gonna have him deface it and throw it around and treat it like a piece of garbage. I'm like, fuck, kind of like this story now. All right.
I was watching that match in Japanese commentary, right? And so when the push-up bra made its appearance, all of a sudden commentary, push-up bra! It's so fucking funny. They scream that as loud as they can, like it's a move, and that is awesome. So
they're selling House of Torture the way that I don't know, man. A lot of people hate them, but they work.
It was really funny. Anyway, next week we have just 5 guys versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, and that is all of the guys that are in those teams. So I'm not going to name them all. You know who they are. Shingo and Taichi start, and just 5 guys try to get Shingo in their corner, and he escapes and kind of like runs away in a funny way, which is pretty good. He's like, oh, get off of me, like that kind of thing. So LIJ, they isolate Taka, but he's crafty and he keeps getting his shit in, and I really like that. And the Two Youths Part 2 continue as Yuya and Tsuji try to make this singles match, which is fun.
Of course they do.
They can't stop, attacking each other. Yuya's all, fuck your arm, and Tsuji's like, stay off my arm, bro. So Doki and Hiromu tag in, and they do their tremendous running the ropes wrestling. The apron bomb spot develops again. Last time Doki did the Asai moonsault to get out of it. This time Hiromu doesn't fall for that, and they end up on the ring, like apron trading suplexes in the ring, which is fucking great. So the champ and the challenger tag back in, and Sonata instantly gets the Paradise Lock, and the crowd goes silent. They do not like it.
No, they don't.
They're fucking pissed.
I like that bit because Sonata does it. And then kicks him out of it fast. So it wasn't about leaving him in there and humiliating him. It was just about him proving a point, like, I can fucking do this to you anytime. Just bang.
It's cool. Just so funny that the crowd was pissed. So and then of course they're happy when Naito spits in Sonata's face. So.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Tranquilo to whoas from the crowd. Go crazy for it. So funny. So Bushi interferes, and we get some cool LIJ team moves from those guys, from him and Naito. It's Bushi versus Sonata at the end. Just Five guys team up to do their scrum Yakuza kick, and it's Just Five boots swinging Cold Skull, and Bushi taps out. Standoff in the ring after the match. They tease all kinds of singles matches they're about to have, and Taichi takes his pants off, and it fucking rules.
Yes. Hell yeah, it does. Man. This was a really cool match in a series of really cool matches, and all of them have had kind of distinct finishes too. And they don't always. And another thing I like about it is it's not always, all right, Ibushi, it's your turn. Okay, Taka, it's your turn. And, pretty much flip back and forth. All right, and then maybe now Doki's turn or something. They've been mixing up who gets pinned. Hiromu gets pinned in one thing, Yuya got pinned by Tsuji in one of these. All this kind of shit. So they've been, not only have they been mixing up, I don't know. It just, usually when these kind of feuds happen over a period of time, you're just like, come on, just lay the fuck down, Bushi, and hurry up. Something like that. It's never been anything like that. I kind of like that. Then, apart from maybe like, Naito and Sonata, it almost feels like everyone's up for grabs, kind of in the finishes. So I like it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is all an extension too of the Tekkers versus LIJ feud from way back. So I mean, it's all that same thing. It's just missing Zack Sabre Jr., which is okay. He's doing his own thing. He's doing fine. Luke, what did you think of the historical match video package that we saw before the next match?
I liked it. I thought it was great. It kind of shows their journey through the years of these two, like the best champs ever, clashing over the years. I thought it was pretty good. What do you think?
It gets you a little misty-eyed at all during this match? Or you got a little something in your eye during this?
Something. Yeah. And then that little something I feel a little bit better about, because like Tana comes out and he doesn't have those fucking stupid ass armbands on.
He also comes out to High Energy, but we can't hear it because of the stupid rights or whatever. So it's their hearing. They just played Go Ace instead. But I mean, the crowd was hearing High Energy, and I was hearing High Energy in my head. Because, like, the commentary was freaking out about it. They were like, holy shit, High Energy. Oh, we just saw Push-Up Brawl, and now we're seeing High Energy. Oh, my God. They couldn't believe it. So
now I imagine Milano was like, High Energy.
It was like that. I mean, there was someone right behind him screaming, but the toilets are smelly. But couldn't hear him. Couldn't hear it very much.
Oh man, I'd love it if like one of the people in Osaka was so drunk they were like, fight forever, and a couple minutes later the toilet stinks.
Yeah. Fight forever, toilet stinks. No, it's Tanahashi, toilet stinks. Tanahashi. That's what it is.
That's right.
That's fun.
So, do you want to? All right, I'll do this match. It's mine next anyway. Listen, I thought this was pretty good, Mr. Andy. I don't think it's their best match. And also, I'm going to sound... I don't know how to say this. Maybe I've been noticing over the last bit. Maybe other people have too. But this is like maybe the first time I saw these two wrestle. And like... All right, Tanahashi. I think he's getting old. Yeah. He's a little... So... What I like about older Tanahashi is, yes, sometimes he can pull out the aces high. In this match, it's fucking incredible. And he can pull out the bag of tricks that everyone knows and loves. Some of them looked a little slow, a little longer to get into position and things like that. Attack I might have taken, and I understand why they did it like this. It's their last match together as both of them active members of New Japan, and they're going to get all the hits in and all that kind of stuff. But I think maybe I might have preferred to see crafty Tanahashi, if that makes sense. Someone who's like a little bit more crafty. I don't know. Rather than, someone who... I like the... I guess with older Tanahashi, I like the work smarter. not harder, because I see him do the aces high, and I love it every time, and it's an incredible move. I see him in this match, and every time I see it now, last few years, I'm just like, that was amazing. Don't do it again.
I mean, it's fine.
It's the last time with Okada, though, so get the fucking high fly flow. All right. I like this match. It's pretty much like a 15-minute distillation of what they do best. And yes, I've just put down Tanahashi a little bit, but the match is really good. It's a lot better than the next match. So, spoiler alert. But it's also got like this cast of emotion over it as well. So even if it isn't like their biggest 5-star banger ever, it's like it's got that element to it. It's like when you watch like the last Muda match, you know it's not going to have like a technical
right.
Muda's not.
That match was awesome, though.
And that match is awesome, and I love it.
So awesome.
Fucking hell yeah, absolutely. So I like this, and then you remind me as I'm watching this that this isn't Okada's last fucking night. He's got like a couple more dates going, so yeah, I was still expecting Tanahashi to win for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's the president and the champion. I don't know. But no. They want to send the Rainmaker out on a high, which happens sometimes, rarely, occasionally in wrestling. I guess like he wants to leave, and New Japan doesn't want to burn its bridges. Who has the bigger dick now? Oh?
They're kissing his ass with
They're like,
oh, the dick's not so big. It's not that big. You know what I mean? It's not as big as yours. That's kind of what's going on.
All right. So there's one point in this match I would have ended it, and I would have been absolutely satisfied, but I don't mind how it plays out. But Tanahashi gets this really cool roll up, and I was like, oh, here we go. And yeah, it's a kick out at 2 point, the closest to 2.99999 you can get. Infinitum, you know? That's how fucking good that kick out was. But, you know, it's a Rainmaker and a 1-2-3 and a giant bear hug by both men after the match, both men crying and stuff. It's an amazing, yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. Tanahashi taps out to the bear hug after the match, but
because he's patting him on the back as they hug.
Kenta Sato's like, no, it's not a match, you know? So,
the match is over.
I like this a lot. I think that if we were more familiar, like if we were studious when it comes to all the Tanahashi Okada matches over the years, we would know the messages being sent by every series that happens in this match. Because I think it's one of those matches where, like, you know, basically they built off everything they had done in the past, just like you would normally do. But this was like a closing of the book kind of thing. I thought it was interesting that the Osaka crowd was like, oh my God, we're here to see Okada's last match. What are you doing? Are you trying to hurt Tanahashi? Boo!
Yeah.
They booed him a bunch of times, but they also kind of booed Tanahashi. You know, it's funny how in some situations they get pissed, but then when it's the boo yay spot, it's yay yay. You know what I mean? So like I thought the kind of like dynamic of the crowd was really fun. This crowd made the show really great. You know, like he tried a shitty pin on Tanahashi. Boo, like with just his foot, you know, the crowd boos him. Kenta Sato wouldn't count it either. Anyway, I liked it. At the end, you know, they both kind of like gather around the lion mark, you know, and Okada actually like bows to it and, you know, cries alone in the ring. And there's just like massive chance as he heads to the back, an emotional wreck.
So did the crowd chant louder for that or when Naito spat in Sonata's face?
Think Naito, you know, but the boos were louder for anyway, so all right.
Was it louder than the silence of Sonata putting him in the paradise?
Yeah. If the silence was deafening. But Luke, next we have a tag title match for one of the pair of belts. Oh, it's the IWGP title belts that I went back and put after the match.
Why couldn't it be the fucking Strong Stanks and then Chase and Kenta can fuck off to America for a while?
So ELP and Hikuleo, the champs, versus Chase Owens and Kenta. So ELP, he gives one belt to a little kid and one to some lady. The drunk fan is the only one chanting for Kenta. They're like, one guy in the back is just wasted, like, Kenta, Kenta. yeah. And so ELP wins the chant battle, but he gets a few people to join him later. ELP starts a Kenta chant for himself, but it's for Kenta Sato. Boo. So, that was a high spot of this match. So we get a little tit for tat wrestling from Kenta and ELP. It devolves into a fight. Oh no! When Chase he gets into double team, there's a double clothesline from Hikuleo. Big tag moves for the champs, but big moonsault. But no, Kenta does a cheap trick and takes over. This is a match that I am watching. There are some exciting spots, like there are some clunky spots. The issue is I just don't care what happens. So Kenta,
I want this match the fucking first time.
Kenta does hit an insane looking knee on Hikuleo late in the match, which was pretty great. He tries to do the GTS on him for some reason. It just doesn't work at all because he's huge. And like all like Hikuleo has to do is like stand up. If he's up on someone's shoulders, you know what I mean? All he has to do is just like put his legs down and he's standing. So it doesn't work. Anyway, he tries DTS, doesn't work. Choke slam, assisted splash. Hikuleo pins Kenta, but no! Chase Owens pulls the ref. Oh my God. He takes out Jado on the outside. No, but Ishimori appears and hits the boys with the belt. Kenta pins Hikuleo for the win. And everybody celebrates because that match is over.
So I think we were talking about this with Ian. Like, I was just saying, like, New Japan just has nothing for Kenta, do they? I know they just gave him the tag titles, but they just got nothing for Kenta, do they? Like, here's a guy that fucking broke his body having absolute fucking masterclasses with Tanahashi and Naito, two of your top boys, and he's in a tag team with a dude you and I don't care about. And we haven't seen him for ages, and this is what he does. What could we have done different? Fucking anything!
Anything.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right, Luke.
But now this makes me feel like, all right, Kenta and Chase are staying. All right, cool. Kenta's staying. Fine. Awesome. Chase is on the fucking flight even before he's picked up the phone. Like, he's already booked the flight, you know. He knows. So he's always going to be there. But Kenta's around, fine, I'll take it. But does this mean, even though now they've still got the stank strong belts, that ELP and Hikuleo are just going to piss off to America for a while? No. Stop doing that. I know you live there and have families, but stop it.
Who cares? I don't care about that.
Especially El Fantasma. I want him sticking around, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not going anywhere. I don't know. I mean,
sorry, man.
You care way too much about this.
This also feels like the second feud for the tag titles in a row that we've had, where it's like, or we've had this done recently, like, you beat us for these titles. Sorry, you defended these titles, but you've got two. So now we're challenging for the other ones. Whoa! Stop it!
I mean, I don't know why you care about it, but at all. But anyway, it's like, who gives a shit? But I think this is a transition championship to get the titles back on Fisherman or maybe Tanahashi and Ishii. So I mean, that's
Tanahashi's got a fucking belt.
Yeah,
he's the president though. So
I said maybe. Jesus.
I love that idea, but then I was like, but Tanahashi's got gold. I want Tanahashi versus Ishii for it. I don't know.
For the tag belts? Yeah. So, well, that was, I don't care about that match. It happened. That's not what matters. It's the other stuff that happens on this show that matters. So, because I mean, apparently people saw the light and, as you said, they saw God.
All right, Mr. Guy. So here we are. The fucking fireworks factory. I know you watched this. You got the chance to watch this a couple times, I think. I only got to see this once, so I might lean on you for a bit. But here we go. Fucking hell. Yeah, this is like watching a wrestling painting or something. Like, this is just... All right. It is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson. It is their second all right, it's their fourth match. You see it in the video package and stuff. Technically, it's their fourth, but this is their second big time match. So when the first one happened, Wrestle Dream, I think it was, where and Brian won with a pin. So here's the rematch. So, man, just this is the style of like the start of this is the style of technical wrestling. Like I get a lot when I see like Great O'Khan doing mat work and shit, and it's these two. Just the crowd's going nuts for this. By the way, I can't fucking believe it either. This is
nuts.
Just
they like every movement. The crowd's going up and down with. It's bonkers.
Because everyone here has signed on for this. You know, they know what they're going to get when these two are in the ring, and they've hopefully watched the Wrestle Dream match. So it's the first half of this match. By the way, as we've already said, the greatest referee of all time, referee Marty Asami, is reffing this match too, by the way. Mm-hmm. So the first half of this match is technical mat-based work just mixed in with amazing storytelling beats and things like that. Zack Sabre Jr. is pissed off because, you know, Brian wanted the fucking pin, son of a bitch, you know, and Brian, the story here is he doesn't respect Zack Sabre Jr. He doesn't think he's all that. And it's these two men just jockeying for position, just man, it's too what are they doing, Mr. Guy? What are they doing? There's like a part of this match where I'm just like, that's not even a botch. I think this is like part of the fucking story. Because Zack Sabre Jr., he fucks up, which allows, like, because the first part of this match, they can't get one up on the other. It's too even. Zack Sabre Jr. is the first to make a mistake. And Brian fucking tortures him. It is fucking gnarly. The thing this man does to Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. is like a taller guy. It's like seeing Tom Cruise reacher standing next to the fucking TV reacher. Like, that's the height difference. But it never feels like that because most of the match doesn't matter how tall you are on the ground. And for most of this match, mostly these two men are on the ground, and it's just, all right, I'm going to twist you up this way. Now I'm out of it. Now I'm going to twist you this way. I'm out of it. And that's the first, what I think is the first half of this match. It's 30 minutes, and the first 15 minutes is them barely any strikes. There's some just to transition from one thing to the next, but most of it is just, and it's not. See, the best part of this is it doesn't have, Mr. Guy, it's not smooth. Now, they do some, it flows. They don't fuck up. Like, I mean, what I say is like there's extra stank to everything.
It looks like it hurts, right?
Yes.
So, like, everything they're doing isn't that, like, Brad Armstrong, like, so smooth as silk kind of thing, where it's so good it looks like it doesn't hurt. This is, like, rough as guts, as you would say, where it looks like dude's grabbing a leg and starts yanking on it. That looks like it fucking hurts bad. And the guy whose leg's getting yanked on is acting like it hurts really bad, and he doesn't want any part of it. He wants to get to the next thing so that he can get in position. And you know, it all kind of changes when Zack Sabre Jr. gets this like leg injury thing. What did you think of that?
I thought it was great. At one point, something had to give with one of these two. It couldn't just be them being even Steven. Someone had to take control. And yeah, it was Zack Sabre Jr. I don't know. Would a Zack Sabre Jr. from a few years ago have done that kind of story? I don't know. I feel like he's better in every way, from doing his trademark submission stuff, but also strikes, selling, being a character. Like, all of this is just fucking, it's been locked in for ages. I think Taichi must have helped him bring his character out too, right? Come on, man. You're hanging out with Taichi all that time. Tech is for life. But yeah, it's rough as fucking guts. And that's just the mat-based stuff they're doing to each other. Because then then they decide, oh, it's just not nasty enough. By the way, one of the fucking submission moves Brian's got on. Zach makes the ropes. Chumpy's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and fucking Brian, stone cold, fucking looks at him with these fucking blue eyes and goes, I've got to 5. And I'm just like, I'm fucking scared of this motherfucker. Holy shit. It's just cool as a cucumber. I've got to 5.
Well, that's something he's always done. But I thought that it was interesting how Marty would interject himself, because Marty was like, he would get like, hey, don't do, well, I mean, okay, but don't do that. No, well, all right. He was kind of hands off a little bit, as if, like Red Shoes would be. And, he's trying out for the main event. But one of the things that made me laugh so hard is that Zach gets this leg injury thing and starts selling it, and everybody thinks he's really hurt, including Marty Asami, who walks over and goes, "You okay, Zach?" And I just started laughing. I thought that was so funny. I experienced
that means what they're doing is
right.
It's working, right? So when even Marty Asami's gone, hey, wait a minute. And then it just fucking progressively builds from there. So, all right, here's a kick. More mat-based wrestling. Then it's more kicks and strikes. Then more mat-based stuff. All right, so, Mr. Guy, take us from the fucking, the second half of this match. Because,
once Zach gets that leg injury, it starts to kind of change, because Zach, it's like before that, we didn't know who was the heel and who was the face. Although I have to say, man, the Osaka crowd treated Zack Sabre Jr. like he was from Osaka, because this is New Japan. Fuck you, Bryan Danielson. That's kind of how the crowd was towards, Bryan Danielson. So these two played into that. So as soon as Zach's leg starts hurting, Daniel Bryan pounces on it, and he's like, "Oh, what's that you got there? A leg? I am going to break it." And so he's got all this fuck your leg shit going on and kicking his leg and all this stuff. But Zach is a heavyweight. All right. He isn't, he's not, he has fighting spirit more than Daniel Bryan. He has more machismo. He's got that thing inside him. So when the strikes start to come, he really mans up and says, I want them. Or, for example, a couple of times he'll go for a rope break, and Marty's like, get the ropes. And he's like, no, I don't need a rope break, and gets out of it a different way. There's a bunch of
fucking incredible.
It's so cool, man. There's a bunch of cool shit like that. I love that. Bryan uses the ropes to start doing some fuck your leg, and Marty is not okay with that, and the crowd is not okay with that. They are pissed, which is so great. I just love it. This is great too, because Bryan Danielson, he starts to get into his Mexican surfboard thing, right? And he puts that on Zack Sabre Jr., and Marty looks right in his eyes and asks him, "Give up!" Which I shit my pants, because he was yelling "give up" the whole match. You know what I mean? Because every other second was some hold that looked like this. Somebody was going to die. So he was every 5 seconds going, "Give up, give up, give up."
I've never heard so many give ups in a match.
It's a lot. So these guys do all this rolling reverse cravat bullshit, and it's just nuts. And this is something where Zack Sabre Jr. had been trying to get his neck crank on earlier in the match. Well, he finally gets it here, and starts a comeback. So he gets another one, and a drop kick, and a cravat of doom. But Daniel Bryan gets the rope break, right? And it's a dirty break. Marty does not like that. Slaps from Bryan. He does a running drop kick to Zack Sabre Jr.'s leg, and one fan keeps trying to start the no chant, that drunk guy. He's like, no. It's just great. So Marty,
but as soon as Bryan in certain areas does this,
that happens. But this was funny because Marty looked up at that fan and he was like, "Oh, that's not for me." Oh, okay, because he thought it was the no chant. That's what he thought. So anyway, there's so these two get they get in a leg hold across from each other and start slapping the shit out of each other, of course. And Brian laughs and he spits in Zack Sabre Jr.'s face twice. That's Naito shit, man. So, but he's just leaning into the heel stuff. So they just fuck each other up, man. And they roll onto the apron. And oh, man, it's like, you guys, you're in the leg clutch. You're rolling towards the apron. Are you going to do it? But no, Zack Sabre Jr., they like unhook before he tumbles to the floor, right in the perfect spot to get hit with the soaring knee, you know, which is
that's
good
the first time they go outside. That's the first time.
Well, this isn't that kind of match, really. And we're going to get a lot of that here in a minute. So
I'm pretty sure there's been 0 pins attempted as well. So I know.
They get in a very realistic looking headbutt fight on the top rope, which you don't want to see that with Daniel Bryan. It's like, no, stop it. Oh, man, that was scary. But Brian slips out from under Zach, pushes him onto the top rope, balls first, right? And there's a top rope Saito suplex for 2. That's a dangerous suplex. What are you doing? He hit Zack Sabre Jr. with the dangerous suplex. That is against the law. Dangerous. Oh, man. So we get the, like, you know, ROH elbows in the middle of the ring, a cattle mutilation, but Zack Sabre Jr. counters it immediately. He's ready for that. Of course, he's ready for that. It. So they get a couple, like, you know, New Japan reversals. Boom! Zack Driver! And that was great. So, and the crowd's stomping their feet when the, you know, Daniel Bryan kicks out of that one. We get a PK, a third, but Bryan dodges. He runs right into a triangle from Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan gets brutal, hitting like insane elbow strikes on Zack Sabre Jr. from the full mount. And Marty looks at Zack Sabre Jr. and goes, "Hey, you okay?" He's got a guy on top of him just doing that to him. And Marty's like, "Hey, you okay?" Oh, man, that made me
give up.
Now, it stops from Daniel Bryan, and he tries the boner lock. They call it the label lock on commentary, but it's boner lock in Japan. Come on. But it turns into something else. They roll into all kinds of wacky holds. Beetle blasters from Daniel Bryan. Yes. And Zach, he shows his fighting spirit. He wants more. Fuck your kicks. I want more.
Oh, no, don't.
He kicks him a couple more times. O'Connor roll into the backward rolling fish out of water sequence. The crowd is like stomping their feet, oohing and on. And Zach hits a third PK, wrapping up that sequence there that he had tried at the beginning. We get a booyah. It escalates into a clutch and then surprise psycho knee from Bryan. More rolling pins. It gets very, very complicated and very hard to follow here at the end. Zack Sabre Jr. does get the 3 during this with like some wacky roll up. And Zach wins, but not with a submission, leaving room for one more match. And there is respect after the match. So I love that. For me, I've been dreaming of seeing Daniel Bryan wrestle in New Japan for many years. This is like, I know he was at Wrestle Kingdom. I count that. I don't really count Wrestle Dream as a New Japan match. So this is the second time I've gotten to see, you know, my favorite wrestler ever wrestle in my favorite company. And I think it lived up to the hype. It would have been cool. If I have one criticism, it would have been cool if this was the main event on a night with less other shit going on. I think it could have been a bigger match if that were the case, but I'm not mad. That's just the devil's advocate point there for you.
Yeah, no, I get it. I love this match. Usually it's the goofy, silly matches that I might put in my, go-to rotation of matches that I like to rewatch. This is, sometimes I like to put New Japan matches like in that. So, like the Taichi Ibushi and all that kind of stuff, lots of Never matches, Shingo Cobb, that kind of shit. I'm putting this like in that slot too. So This is going to be a match I revisit for a very long time. I loved it. It's, perfect kind of,
I mean,
perfect.
It's like, I think if it was the end of the feud, like kind of thing, I think maybe you'd be close to that perfection level. But I mean, it's like I think that because it leaves a little more, it's like, okay, what's next? At least that's the way I felt about it. I'm so happy just talking about it. It's so fun. Oh man. All right, Luke. So this main event is something special, right? And it is called the Dog Pound Cage Match. But we get an intermission here because they got to build a fucking cage. And we get like this recap of all the violence between the two teams that this happened, like this video package. But they weren't exactly sure how long it would take to, to set up the cage. So they had all these video packages. They're like, well, let's just run them all, even though the cage is already up. So we get a lot of time there. And I was shocked to see Marty Asami out there with like a little vest on, put the cage up all by himself. I couldn't believe it.
Super Marty. He's the best, man. By the way, that cage, dear listeners, if you haven't seen this match, which is kind of weird, we're very niche. Like, why would you listen to it? Oh, never mind. The cage looks like someone grabbed all the extra bits of blue railing that were used for the railing and then just Legoed them together until you've got like a fence that's about Hikaleo height, and boom, there's your cage. The cage, like we traded some jokes here, man. We made fun of it a little bit when we first saw it. Then the match starts, and I totally forgot about the tiny height of the cage soon thereafter, and had a good time.
Yeah, it like is actually really smart, the cage, because the way when you're looking at it from hard cam, the cage doesn't block your view of the ring at all. At all. So you can see everything that's going on in the ring, and yet there's a cage. I was really like you said, when we saw it, we were like, oh, it's a fucking fence match or whatever, because it looks like a fence, but as the match went on and the way they used the cage, I mean, it was pretty cool, man. I think it could have been a little tighter around the ring, maybe, because it was like an oval around the ring. It wasn't like squared off, which also made it look like something you'd put your dog in the backyard. But, at the same time, we're not putting Wilma in cages. You cannot cage Wilma. So, I understand. But Marty was just a hero, but he's not going to ref this match because he doesn't want any part of this shit. It is Red Shoes. And this match is Will Ospreay's last New Japan match. It's United Empire versus Bullet Club, the Dog Pound Cage match. Finley and Will Ospreay are out first, and there is a huge reaction for Ospreay. I mean, like, fucking another level of over. I mean, it is unbelievable how much the crowd loves him, and they sing his name over the song and everything. It's fucking nuts, man. So, all right. I see that this match, I was watching this, but I could tell it was going to be long, right? I didn't know how long, but it's like one of those matches that you're thinking, okay, this is going to be like an hour or something like that. It's a little longer than that, I think. So I think it's too long. That's something I got to get out of the way right away. And I'll tell you when we can cut shit, because there's a lot of shit they could have cut. But another reason I knew this match was going to be long is because this is really cool. Will grabs the mic and he's like, okay, every 2 minutes somebody's going to come out, but 2 minutes isn't enough. I want 10 minutes with you right now, and then the next people can come out. And Finley is a heel, so he can't give him what he wants.
No.
But he wants to fight him too for a little bit. So he wants it a little bit too. So he's like, you know what? I'll give you 5 minutes. Tremendous.
Haggling at its best.
So they fight on the outside and do spots on the cage, and it's sturdy, the cages. So they do some tremendous pro wrestling. When those two wrestle, it's always good. So I would like to see more of them just wrestling, but that's not what we're getting here. So Drilla Baloney is out next, and so he's walking out, but where's he at? And he has Newman, and he's choking him, which distracts Will. So then Finley kills Will with the chair while Baloney handcuffs Newman to the cage. But tell me, what was Drilla Baloney had a interesting like piece of accoutrement. Did you see this?
Damn, our lexicon's going off tonight. Yeah, he was wearing a fucking bandolier with forks in it. And to tell you the truth, And the army pants, they've all got army pants. Like like the war dogs are here for war. So I have to admit, he looks both simultaneously goofy as shit and kind of badass at the same time. I like it.
I guess the idea is that when Akira sees that, he's going to be scared, right? I mean, because that's like the weakness of United Empire is that Akira's scared, and that's an important part of this match, right? So he comes out with the fucking fork bandolero, and these guys fuck the shit up out of they fuck up United Empire. Nobody's fucking anybody. Okay,
Yep.
So Hanare is out to next, so he's the first United Empire out to help Ospreay, right? He comes out to a good reaction.
Good.
The crowd chants his name as he takes out Bullet Club, and Will's like recovered at this point. So he and Hanare, they do some sick tandem moves on Finley. It's pretty cool. Next, we have Clark Connors out, all right? And he has barbed wire wrapped around one of his hands, and he hits Will in the head, and Will's head turns all red.
No.
Everybody's head's turning all red in this match. So anyway, TGP.
Really? Because I feel like Nare's dressed like Darkman by the end of the match.
Oh, The Darkman, tremendous movie, by the way.
That's a great movie.
That movie, man. It's so good. Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So TJP is our next out, and he wraps barbed wire around his foot and does the boot scrapes, causing Connor's head to turn all red. It's all red. And so
I've never seen the boot scrapes do that before.
So everybody's brawling all around. They're fighting during these, spots on the ring, or while there's spots going on in the ring, everyone else is just fighting. It's so funny because like all this shit's going on. Camera guy's like looking over here, and then he just gets a shot of Newman just fucked sitting there like handcuffed to the cage, like I can't do shit. So the big important I guess tell us what about Alex the Android coming out, because this is hilarious. It's pretty fun.
By the way, Callum isn't like, it's not like he's standing up and cuffed. No, he has to fucking down. lay there the whole fucking time. Motherfucking Android comes out. How does he come out? Oh,
with the chairs, yeah.
He just comes out with his arms outstretched like this, and there's fucking like 10 chairs on each. Like I definitely know who I want to be my fucking furniture removalist. It's the Android.
Well, he's great during teardown.
Oh.
I mean, like, are you kidding me? You want the Android out there during teardown? Look at all the chairs he can carry in one go.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
So he comes out with all these chairs. It's it's fucking ChairBot 5000. It's so funny. And he starts killing dudes with all these huge power moves. So Finley hits Newman with a chair for no reason. So he's just near him and just like, fuck you. So something else we forgot to mention. Okay, so this is kind of cool. The like door that's open that people can come and go from is actually facing the entrance. So we get to see over the cage into the ring, behind it the open door with, Kenta Sato is manning that. And, we all know that we're headed towards the match beyond, and we're not there yet. But I thought this was interesting. So Finley hits Newman with the chair for no reason. They lawn dart TJP into the cage. The Android does it so. And then they bury him in chairs, and Hanari's like, oh, what's all this then? And he gets DVD'd right onto the pile of chairs with TJP under it. Nasty. So next, this is actually one of my favorite parts of this match, and the part I was most looking forward to, because we hear Akira's music, and we're like, okay, is he going to be scared? How's this going to work out? Is United Empire going to break up? Is the podcast ending? We don't know. So Akira, he comes out. He's a fucking on fire. He immediately climbs up the cage like he's a cat, just whoop, 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 and he jumps off the cage and hits a huge crossbody on everybody. He punches Finley a bunch of times and then kills him with a kendo stick. He like shreds the kendo stick on him, and the crowd's like, yes! And Akira is so fired up, and he's not scared at all. He throws a chair at Finley, but Connor spears him right through a table.
Oh my God.
Whoops. So now he's laying down. There's a lot of this, big action, downselling. Big action, downselling. That's kind of everyone's, job in this match. So Next, we have Gabe Kidd out, and he has a cart filled with chairs and tables and stuff, and garbage cans, bottles and cans. Just clap your hands. Just clap your hands. And he gets a ladder out after hitting everybody with chairs. All right. Bullet Club pose as we hear the final countdown. All right, meaning not the song, but the final person's going to join the match, right? Which, by the way, Daniel Bryan did come out to his shitty AEW music, not Final Countdown or, Fly the Valkyries. So anyway, next person to come out is the last person to come out. It is Jeff Cobb. He hits huge power moves on everybody. It's awesome. He no-sells kendo shots from Finlay. It teams up with Will to beat up Finlay even more. He gets a big near fall on Finlay, and that's the first pin of the match, I guess. So,
yeah.
And that's how you win, is you win the match by pinning. But the only way you can pin is once everybody's in. So now
like War Games, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So now we go to the match beyond, So Kenta Sato's chaining up the cage door, all right? But and that causes us to miss something that happens. Cobb and Android are just doing awesome big man shit, but we miss some of it because we got to see a close-up of Kenta Sato, chaining the door close. So the match beyond has begun. And Connors ends up doing a tremendous table bump right here, which is really cool. So he was bumping all over the place. Like he gets shoved through a table and his like head kind of goes into it a little bit, but it doesn't quite break all the way. So he just kind of goes backwards and just falls out of the ring. It's great. So, the comical selling of these guys. For example,
fucking amazing.
At one point, Jeff Cobb's throwing the android around, and the android is done with that part of the spot. So he's supposed to get out of the ring. So he hits the mat, comes back up, and goes "fuck you," and like sells to the outside. It's like, oh man, I love that. So Gabe Kidd, he does a super dangerous Terry Funk spot with this ladder. Luke, tell me about the spinning ladder spot.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Has everyone seen the Three Stooges? I hope so. They're not bad. Yeah. See, you already did them earlier. Because Gabe Kidd, he puts the ladder in, like he puts his head through the middle of the ladder, and he's like, "Oh, I'm hitting this guy," and then the other guy has to kind of like move into the way of it. So it's like, "Oh, now I'm hit too." So it is a comical slapstick moment. It's supposed to be violent, but actually, I kind of like there were little moments of this match that just gave me a bit of a chuckle and a laugh, because otherwise, like, this is kind of a bloodthirsty match, and so you needed little bits and pieces like that to make you go either holy shit or, all right, that's pretty hilarious. And he's a madman, he runs this shit.
That's what he says. I think that normally that spot you don't go that fast. You give people a chance to get in between the ladder. This motherfucker is just going a million miles an hour, and people are having to give up and go, "Oh, okay," like jump in there. So luckily, no one was killed. But this is not even close to the dangerous shit, most dangerous shit that happens in this match, though. So anyway, so we get a big. What do we get here? The War Dog Heavies get a big bunch of spots together, and then Will builds a ladder bridge between the cage and the apron. Right? That won't like blow up in his face later. So Will and Finlay, they wrestle for a bit. It's excellent. And Akira gets a drop toe hold. He gets drop toe holded into a chair by the juniors, and then the suplexed onto a chair, and the camera misses it, sadly. And it's one of those deals where the chair's open, just like a chair sitting there. And he gets suplexed into it, and it's like, fuck, that's gotta be shitty for the person taking it. Camera missed it. Oh, that's
cameramen are really usually pretty good in New Japan. I'll play devil's advocate and say they're really not used to filming cage matches, are they?
No. So the way they had the cameras set up, they had cameras outside of the cage, a couple of them, right? They had one roaming cam inside the cage and then the hard cam. So they had enough coverage and everything, and I like that they had everything on one side. Like they were following the 180-degree rule to some extent, which wrestling never does. So I really thought that they did a good job there. It's just like there's so much going on, and these guys are not necessarily used to wrestling this big kind of match where when it's a New Japan multi-man tag match, it's obvious when the action's going to happen and when the next spot's going to happen and stuff like that. With this, it's kind of chaotic, and sometimes stuff just happens out of nowhere, and you're not really sure. And I know people love this match. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I don't agree with that. I mean, it's not that I didn't love it. I loved a lot of things about it. It gets a little much, and we'll get to it. We're almost there. So anyway, all right. So Gabe Kidd, he does the funk spot, and let's see here. Camera guy misses that spot where Akira gets suplexed, and then TJP appears in a mask and a grass skirt looking thing, and he and Akira team up. Oh man, we get some super fun everyone's involved spots. That's fun. Hinari reappears, and he looks like in a cartoon when someone has a sore tooth. That's what it looks like. He's got like this giant wrap on his head. Now, he'd been missing for a while. I watched this match again. I tried to find where he got like taken out. What we hear is that he was bleeding profusely. So either he got hit with something that we didn't see, or maybe he, went a little too hard gigging. I don't know. But he was bleeding so bad that the doctor was like in there. So that shit was wild. So anyway,
nuts, man. Fucking nuts.
I mean, this match is going to be legendary for many reasons, but
it's fine. Yeah.
Everybody's in the ring. We get a 5-on-5 barking standoff. So Will and Finley alone in the ring eventually for a big bouye spot. Connor spears Will Canadian style through that table, or the outside that like through a damn table is what happens. So that's tremendous. So Hinari and Gabe Kidd resume their hostilities. All right. And Hinari slaps the fuck out of Gabe Kidd. I mean, like, wow. That shit was Noah level of slapping. Yeah. That was nuts. So
back the taste out of his mouth for sure.
All right. The android gets this big spot. So he comes up. He's like, fuck you, Catch 22. I'm taking you on alone. But they both have kendo sticks. So what does he do? He just stands there and lets him fucking club him to death with the kendo sticks. But he no-sells it. And he grabs them both. That shit was so funny, man. He takes the sticks away from him, Hinari climbs the cage and hits the senton through 2 tables.
Fucking hell.
I don't remember who he hit it on, but that was nuts. So, and he's doing that the whole time with this giant weird head wrap on it, and so Connors has a bag of tacks and a bottle of whiskey. So he gets, he pours the tacks out in the corner and he drinks a bunch of whiskey and he gets sent face first, like right into the tacks and then back first. Then Tour of the Islands for 2. All right. We get chairs and shillelagh to Jeff Cobb. And this is when I'm noticing that this match is very, very long. All right. And it's about to get to a point where I'm starting to not care. Like, I'm kind of like, all right, let's wrap this up, guys. This show was almost 4.5 hours long, something like that. So, and I woke up for it. I was watching it live. So I was kind of ready, for this to go. Will and Finley are alone in the ring. They actually wrestle. It's very good. 2 trash pandas, but Will kicks out. And then Gato appears. And he's got this barbed wire table, right? But how's he going to get in, So I think someone had cut the chain earlier or something like that. Did you catch how the door gets open? Because I did not.
No.
Okay. So maybe Gato did that, but it's great. Like, this is a good and bad spot here because Gato, he comes out. He's got this door, a table that's got barbed wire wrapped around it. And that's for, Will. We're going to put him through that. So, but Grado Khan makes an appearance. Oh my God, there he is. And he goes to attack Gato and gets just brushed off by Gato. And it's like, what the fuck? But
Big Dick Gato's in the house. Yeah.
That was bullshit. And then what he recovered, and then he took out Gato. He frees Newman because Gato had the handcuff keys in his pocket, right? And so he sets up the Barbie table in the ring corner, right? Gato, So Gabe Kidd appears to push Will's head into the table, saying, This is for December, bitch. Which I thought was funny. But Will reverses that.
Fucking, is Gabe Kidd fucking like Freddy Krueger? Because
no,
like I swear at the end of every time Freddy Krueger kills someone, he ends with like blah 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 blah, bitch.
That's true. But like Gabe Kidd's not corny.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Freddy's
corny as fucks. So Gato gets involved and Newman takes him out. Missed on Finley from TJP. Stereo. It says ass cutters in my notes. Ass cutters from Will and Newman. Oh, Newman's the future. So Will powerbombs Finley through the Barbie table. He kicks out at 2 though. All right, so here we go. Dan Baloney attacks Will with a fork. And he's got his bandolero. Gabe Kidd pile drives him, Will, through the ladder bridge that he had built, right? You set it up, you go through it. That's the way it works. So
that's the law.
So we get Dan Baloney versus Akira, and Akira's bleeding. He gets the fork from Dan, and he just starts attacking him with it and fucking him up. And then he attacks Connors with the fork, and everyone's head is all red. And he puts the dog collar on Connors and hangs him over the ropes while TJP kind of sort of helps.
This is for December, bitch.
Dude. So we were worried Akira was like, he was scared. He isn't scared. He literally hung that motherfucker, I
think he's scared of what he will do if he lets loose. That's what he's scared of.
Maybe that's it. You're right.
Fucking Wolverined out or something.
There is a tremendous Akira promo on Instagram from after the show. Oh my god, dude! It's like he's like, I am Francisco Akira. He's got that like, when a kid is so upset, but they're like strong-willed and they're like trying to explain something to you that really means a lot to them, and their voice is cracking, but they're just that's Akira, man. He is that, and like, it's great. I'm glad that if anything that we get out of this match, it's the Bullet Club's legit, and that Akira is just like the fucking top guy in United Empire. So
hey, I just saw my. Yeah, all right. If I can't have Doki, let's have Akira win the Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, all right, so we get a big Dan versus Akira thing. All right, yeah, we already talked about that. Bullet Club make a pile of chairs in the ring, and they had a spike pile driver kind of just next to it. It's just funny.
I'm fine with that.
Kid like lands butt first on the edge of the chair, and he's like, "Oh, it looked like it hurt real bad." So Bullet Club, they take the canvas off the ring. This is a problem. There's 2 issues with this. One, it takes so long, and it doesn't even work. They don't even get it all the way off. So
no, this is the part where I'm like, okay, I get what you're going for here. But this is going to take another 10 minutes, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you couldn't have done your last few spots with the thing still on. I don't know. That's one problem, is that it takes way too long. The other problem is that the way the boards are set up is that if you step on them with nothing on them, they go like this, and you break your leg, So, but we're going to wrestle on that. Who cares? So Hanare runs in. He suplexes Kid onto the boards, right? And the boards are all falling out of place. It's super dangerous. So Bullet Club, they team up on Hanare. Android yells at Hanare like he's his dad, and he's angry, not disappointed. I was like, fuck. Whatever he wants me to do, I will do. So Akira fires up and wrestles Finley on a little tiny part of the ring that seems kind of safe, and it's like there's no room to run. They're in this little section trying to wrestle. Spike pile driver on Akira. The pin's broken up though. Will drops Akira to the corner as Bullet Club all stand up across the ring from him. Will sacrifices himself to protect his team and to protect Akira. He can't muster much of a fight. We see Will call the next spot, which is unfortunate. But then barbed wire knee from Finley for the pinfall victory. So, we'll talk about after the match and Hanare's unfortunateness. But what did you think of the match overall, man? I thought it ended exactly the way it needed to. Because, look, Will's leaving, so it makes sense for this group to be in a bit of shambles right now. And Will's leaving. Well, you leave on your back. This new Bullet Club team needs a bit of a kick. Like, I'm digging them, but all right. Now we see this. Now we see what they're all about right here. This is their statement: bodies. So at the end of the match, all of the Empire guys are laying down. It's just Will, and they just fucking destroy him. Boom, the match is over. This is what you want from the Bullet Club. So this helps Will going on his back, even though it's like a big, weapons match and all that shit. Will going out on his back for the leader of the Bullet Club. Good for the leader of the Bullet Club. I'm behind that. So I appreciate Will for doing, for going out the right way. I always like to see that. And dude, I like it. Like, I feel like I just stared at like a beautiful painting for half an hour, and then I walked outside the Louvre and witnessed a car crash. And
it lasted an hour.
They're both experiences I will remember for different reasons. But yeah, so I mean, like Brian and Zack Sabre Jr., that's a main event kind of match. I understand. I'd probably want to see it on last as well. But I do like the match. Like, it's weird to me. So it's me complaining that a match is like a 7 out of 10 after I've just watched a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like that kind of criticism. Or a 6. It's a good time, but it's just too long. Like, if someone wants to snip out like 10 minutes of the pulling the mat stuff out, smush it back in. I mean, you'll know that the edits happen because right after 40 minutes, you'll hear 55 minutes pass. But that's fine. I like the match. It's a good time. It makes Gabe Kidd, Alex C., Driller Maloney, and Clark Connors all look like killers. And then it makes David Finlay look like the fucking boss of the killers, or at least the front man of the killers, because you got Gato like right there too. So I don't know. In terms of story, you hit all the story beats you needed to, and they're all great. The Akira being saved, the Akira doing the fire ups, all the beats they needed to for the storylines and stuff to progress. I loved all that stuff. It was just, it could have been, instead of being like an hour and 5 minutes, how about 40
or less?
If they did half the spots of this match and the match was half the length, I think it still could have hit the same way a lot of people it hits for. Like, I like it. It's hard. It's hard to complain when, like, I did have a good time watching it. It was good.
Yeah, I just thought it was too long, and but there, and we have to talk about Hanare. Okay, so this is unfortunate.
Oh my god,
man, this fucking sucks. So, all right. Finlay says War Dogs rule New Japan after the match, and it's hard to disagree with them at this point. He has asked the internet to say you're sorry, too, by the way, because everyone's like, oh my god, I buy David Finlay now, so, but
what have we been doing the last fucking year?
No one listens to us, so. So after the match, United Empire, they collect themselves, right? And by the way, Will Ospreay looked like death after the match. And it was really funny. After he got pinned, he's just laying there. He's got this look on his face. It's so funny. So anyway, Great O'Khan unhandcuffs Hanare. He had been handcuffed to the chain or the fence. And unfortunately, a doctor forces him to the back immediately. So he doesn't get to be a part of this. And guess what was on the cover of Tokyo Sports? This fucking sucks, man. So I just feel bad for him. He doesn't get to be in the pictures and everything. So there's a huge thank you Ospreay chant. United Empire solemn. They're very upset. And Will says he will be back one day. And he gets confetti for losing, which I thought was funny. And group hug from United Empire, and the confetti's blue. United Empire's color.
Yeah.
Was that extra confetti for Master Wato winning? That's the Super Juniors.
I like that. Like Kevin Kelly was up there going, don't give him all the confetti. Fuck
That's right.
Wato.
Oh, was it in Osaka? It might have been. I don't know.
Who
But
knows? But
what a show.
yeah. I feel bad for Hanare. He deserved to be part of that moment too. So
Yeah, it's a big bummer.
Stuck to him.
Man.
Yeah, that is true. But look, hey, we've only got one show to talk about. Just saying how long we've gone for. But look, I have to do it. It is part of the show. It is a staple now. And I have Wrestler Diaries, Mr. Guy.
Yeah.
And let's go with... Oh, shit. All right. Have we done Wato?
Why decide this before we record?
Yeah,
decide it now. Fuck the listeners. Fuck them right in their ears.
Been fucking professional for the last hour and a half.
We were pretty professional. And people have no idea the trials and tribulations that you've been through recently, so they can all fuck off. All of you. Right.
I'm looking through all these diaries and just picking one, and I'm going to go this one.
Yeah!
And it's episode 70 of Road to the Diary Master 70.
Yeah!
So he puts the 70 on it twice. You can't see. You got the usual Wato fingerless glove pose. That's fine. He's looking cranky as well and adorable at the same time. So that's some... Man, you can't train your face for that.
That's hard to pull off. Yeah, you can't train your face.
You can't train your face for that. Like, how do you do that? November 29th, 2023. I'm your Wato, who almost threw up. The day after the Yamagata show, I went to Fukuoka for an event with Tanahashi-san. There were no direct flights from Yamagata Airport to Fukuoka Airport, so we went to Fukuoka via Haneda Airport. We took a small plane to Haneda Airport, but as soon as we took off, it was very windy and very bumpy, which made me feel very sick.
Aww.
But it was only an hour flight, so it wasn't too bad. After we arrived, I felt sick, but I felt better after eating some soba noodles with Mr. Tanahashi. Picture of the soba noodles. Yoshihashi didn't come because he doesn't like those. He goes to the other soba place. But anyway, but God, this guy likes to tell you his itinerary. All right. The flight from Haneda to Fukuoka was also bumpy, both before and after takeoff and landing. It was so hard to get drunk, but I was worried that I might fall off the plane. After I arrived, I did some recording at the radio station and then met with Liger-san at the venue. It had been a while since I'd seen him, but he was as hyperactive as ever.
This is literally the one you read last week.
All right. Well, really?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. Or maybe I'm pretty sure it was the one from last week.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, well, guess what? We got episode 73, Road to the Diary Master 74. Dated January 24, 2024.
Well, leave me some space so I can edit this. Right. So you don't look dumb.
I don't mind looking dumb, man.
I mean,
people can see my face anyway. They already know. All right, I'll give you a moment. All right. So here we go. Diary time, Mr. Guy. Master Wato. By the way, I like how it says here, it's episode 73, Road to the Diary Master 74.
Yeah. What's your problem?
I don't, no, nothing to see here. January 24th, 2024. And Wato's got like a kind of cool fingerless glove pose. Different one to the last diary. But, you know, he still kind of manages this mean adorableness that, yeah, you could take seriously, but maybe not. Depends on your mood, I guess. It's look at his face.
I don't know how I take Watto. You know what I mean? But
don't make me answer that. Anyway, January 24th, 2024. This is your Cantan Vinegar. Really easy Wato. Continuing on from last time, I'll be talking about the second day of the Food Explosion Tour.
Yay.
On the second day, we went to Yabuko Morning Market to ride a sightseeing boat and got on board with some fans who won in a lottery. On that day, we were planning to ride to Ikamaru boat. we were planning to ride the Ikamaru boat, but the waves were rough, and we changed to a slightly larger boat.
You think he got sick?
Oh yeah. Oh. If Yo was on there, so seeing all that water, he'd piss his pants. The boat set sail, and we stopped to look at the fish from the porthole. Then went to the lower level of the boat and saw the fish swimming. Since the engine was stopped, I got quite seasick and felt like throwing up. But endured it. Oh, there's your fighting spirit right there. Well done, mate. I really wonder what will happen at 12 o'clock. I felt drunk, but I could see the fish and the nature was beautiful. We did it for about 40 minutes and it was fun. We enjoyed squid from Yabuko for lunch. At the end of the tour, we handed out Itokiran's Wagashi sweets to our fans and then disbanded. It was a 2-day, 1-night trip, but I had a lot of fun experiencing various things with everyone. Thank you very much. After returning to Tokyo from Karatsu, the next day I traveled to Hyogo Prefecture to see a performance by, Takarazuka's Star Troupe. It was my first time to see a performance at the Takarazuka Grand Theatre. Before the show started, I went to the Takarazuka Review Hall of Fame and I had lunch inside the Grand Theatre to enjoy it. When I entered the Grand Theatre, it was packed. You know how some motherfuckers make up the word count by just fucking like saying some motherfucker's full name over and over again?
Yeah.
Like this is motherfucking like he has to say Takarazuka Grand Theatre fucking 4 times.
Right. It's like
a word count.
It's like how we always say Zack Sabre Jr. No matter what context we're talking about him, we always say Zack Sabre Jr. So.
Yeah. When I worked at a call center, no one could handle my name was Luke, and because it's like a 4-letter first name, 4-letter surname. That was it. That was my name, Luke Sims. That's my name. That's all everyone called me, Luke Sims.
Yeah. Okay. There's people that you know that just like, for example, my buddy John Murray, who's a pro wrestler. It's John Murray. It's not John. It's not Murray. It's John Murray. That's just what you call him. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. I don't know.
Same. Used to know a Shane Henry. That's all anyone ever called.
Well, it's like it's not Watto. It's Master Watto. You know
that's right.
I mean? That's
and it's not the Grand Theatre, motherfucker. It's the Takarazuka Review Hall Grand Theatre. Anyway,
I agree.
When I entered the Grand Theatre, it was packed. Now the pandemic is over. The top stars came down from the stage, and I was so thrilled to see them so close.
So thrilled.
He marks out like other people at the wrestling show might when Desperado walks past.
Oh man, that's why Kevin Kelly hates him, because he's a mark.
This motherfucker doesn't just love pageantry and wrestling. He likes a bit of pageantry. Nice, because he's got a photo of him here, a bit peacocky. I don't know what it's all about, but he looks happy and adorable. Good on him. On the 14th, there was an event for Kantan Vinegar in Tokyo, and Mr. Tanahashi, Mr. Yano, and Mr. Taguchi appeared and cooked a dish using Kantan Vinegar as the Tsugara brothers. The recipe, see, he had to say Kantan Vinegar. He's selling the merch, so that's why he's saying the full name. Yeah, all right, I get it. All right, the recipe called for me to cut chicken, put oil in a frying pan, fry meat, and pour Kantan vinegar over it. It was a bit too much, but it was just right.
That's too much? That's too much.
Put chopped chicken, put in pan, put shit on it.
I mean, come on.
I can't cook shit, but I can fucking do that.
He says that was too much, but that was just enough, too. Come on, Watto.
Come on, man. It was a bit too much, but it was just right. Really easy to cook and very tasty. The 2 masked men took off their masks when the bottle of signed Kantan vinegar was handed to the winner in a game of rock, paper, scissors.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun.
2 pairs of
scissors. It was really fun to take my mask off. There's a photo of them in masks, and except for Yano, I guess. But I think that's Taguchi there watching Yano have difficulty putting chicken in a pan right there.
You know, Watto would be great for those commercials like infomercials late at night where they're like, do you have problems getting chicken in the pan? And it's like, oh, he can't get the chicken in the pan. It's like, oh, try this chicken pan. It fries all of your chicken. Chicken legs, chicken thighs, chicken breasts, every kind of eggs, every kind of chicken that you want goes in the
guess
chicken
what?
pan.
If you call now, we'll give you the one that cooks steaks.
Luke, what if I told you I had a pan for all of your chicken needs? Hey, order now and get a free sidecar to keep your vinegar in, So oh man.
Oh my god. And a Cantan vinegar fanny pack. The day after the Cantan vinegar event, Mr. Honma and I visited FCT Fukushima Joe TV, KFB Fukushima Broadcasting Fukushima FM, and newspaper companies to promote Fukushima Iwaki event on the 8th of February. When I was heading there with Honma-san, people who passed me by recognized him and said things like, "Oh, it's the guy with the scratchy voice." Aww. Thank you very much for allowing me to have a lot of publicity on TV, radio, and newspapers.
They don't recognize him. They recognize Honma. They're like, who's this blue bitch? That's Honma. They were walking by and they say, hey, look, it's Honma.
Yeah. Exactly like that. Hey, look, it's Honma.
And he's like,
Then he turns to Wato and he's like, I'm big in Japan.
Wow. Is that all, Luke?
Well, I'm not going to do the whole Tom Waits song.
No, I meant the Master.
Oh, yeah.
Wato
he said, see you soon.
Diary. Okay.
Bye.
I didn't hear the cute. Wow. Well, Luke, we did it. We talked about the new beginning. But before we leave, I have to tell you a story that happened to me today and give a quick shout out to a listener. So today I was at a local hardware store in Ohio. All right. And this guy was kind of eyeing me, this guy that works there. And I was like scoping out some products that my store sells and kind of seeing what they cost and stuff and taking some pictures. And I thought this guy was just eyeing me, being like, who's this fucking right?
Espionage at its worst. This guy,
because he goes over he comes up and tries to help me, and I don't really say much to him. I'm just like, yeah, I have my headphones in, and I guess he said something as he was walking away, but I didn't hear it. And I was just looking at the floor, the stuff, the items, and I see that in the row next to me, there he is, and he's staring at me, and I'm like, why the fuck is this guy staring at me? So he takes another run. And he comes up again and he says, is there sure there's anything I can do to help you? And I'm like, nah. And this time I had one of my headphones out and he says, it's just so weird that you're wearing that sweatshirt of a podcast that I listen to. And I was wearing my Never Open Podcast sweatshirt.
Oh, shit.
And this guy's like, and I said, you listen to my podcast? And he goes, is that you? And I'm like, what? Is that me? And he goes on to tell me that he listens to our show, and I just am like on cloud nine. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I got recognized from a podcast in Ohio from a New Japan, New Japan pod. So actually, my name's Robbie. I've only been on one time. But it's like, that was so weird. And the fact that the guy, he was like, oh yeah, his name was Johnny. So shout out to Johnny. At the local hardware store. I'm glad to meet you today. Yeah. You made my day. That shit was wild.
Except, I can tell by Andy's friendly tone and nice voice and reminiscence of this story, he secretly hates you because you work for the competition.
No,
he doesn't. Of course not.
He works for a big box store, and I work for a mom and pop. So technically, we're not competition, but
boxes and carpet. Mm-hmm. That's it's quite the rivalry there, and I'll have to watch that. Johnny versus Mr. Guy. Void.
I mean, I'm friends with Johnny at this point. Me and Johnny are tight. So, I mean, if there's trouble with the podcast, I might go to Johnny. I'm just saying, Luke.
Well, since it's near the end of the show, we can go, goodbye, Johnny. That song. I can't remember that song now. God damn it, it's off Wicker Man. But
Wicker Man is fantastic.
the fucking original with Christopher Lee and Edward
Yeah.
Woodward. Oh, so good. And Jenny Agata. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. I'm sorry. But unless Mr. Guy has something he'd like to add. In Gato we trust. Hey.